Hi Andy, lovely to meet you up at the range yesterday and do some further work on your swing. It's been a while, and to be honest, you've done a pretty good job of progressing things since we last met a few years ago. However, the big issue you had initially was hitting the ground behind the ball, and the two screenshots on the left relate largely to this. So problem number one, unsolid contact. What we see at the start of your session is, and I've illustrated the centre of your swing, the upper axis of your swing with a red line here on the sternum, and the red line to the side of your head is where we had the cane when we were working on your swing during the session. So what we're going to see here is very early in the piece there's a move off, so the centre of the swing moves back, head floats to the right a tremendous amount, and from there you've just made it very easy to hit the ground behind the ball. What you now require is a lunge across, which you can see there you never quite get, and now it's the devil's own job to not hit behind the golf ball. What you've also done is corrupted the swing path that you're creating and made it very difficult to also control the curve on your ball. So big move off it, making it very difficult to control the low point of the swing. First thing we did was we turned both feet out. We explained why. That's going to allow you to turn more, stabilise the upper centre, and long term prevent some injuries to your knees. As you do this now, you're able to turn more freely. You can see there's much less of a move off the golf ball. Still a little bit, but nowhere near as much. As a result, you can get back into position much better and start to control the low point of the swing a little bit better. Now, we did discuss that as you came through impact late in your session, there was a tendency to go looking for your old position. You can see there your head drifts back of the cane or back of the line as you're coming down, so you've still got to learn to improve that. No need to move back during the golf swing. Stay centred, keep moving forward. But overall, a much better move. I mean, if you look at it at that stage of the swing, previously, you'd moved off it a tremendous amount. Now, you're not moving off it as much. So, big improvement in the early part of the backswing. 3/4 of the way in, still not much movement off the ball. And that, in turn, resulted in some much better strikes. What we then talked about was your ability to control the direction of the ball and what was happening there. And the thing we see here on the top right is the club gets rolled behind us very early in the swing. So the left wrist rolls, and as the left wrist rolls, the club rolls with it. So the club shaft gets lost behind you very early in the piece. You've got a strong grip anyway, so that's going to produce a shut club face. You can see the club gets rolled behind you, right arm starts to fold very quickly, left shoulder doesn't really work down the way it should. So what we've suggested you do here is that you feel like you're going to work the left wrist the opposite way. You can see as you do that, the club doesn't roll behind you as much. You're not adding as much loft to the club. Remember what we said, if you open the club face up on the way back, you've got to shut it down on the way through. So what we've got here now is a right arm that's much straighter, a shaft that's in a better position, and a left shoulder that's working down in a more appropriate manner. So the arms and the body are working together much better at that stage. That's the rehearsal. If we go to the swing itself and have a little look at it, so the feeling here now is that we work the left wrist the opposite way to what we would normally do. You can see there straight away, much improved takeaway. The shot pattern you were getting at the end of your lesson was much improved. We then play it to the top. Better set halfway back. What I liked about this was how much less face rotation you had coming through. Hitting the ball higher and straighter. Don't need to do as much with that club face because we didn't do as much on the way back. All in all, more functional golf swing. So stay nice and centered on the way back, flow the feet out a little bit more at address, and try and keep the club a little bit quieter on the way back in relation to the first move away from the golf ball. Good luck with it, and look forward to working with you again in the coming weeks. Well done.